All right, guys. Hello, it's Tanyé Soul, and today I am back with another video. This video is about these land patents. We need to know as much information as we can about them, and I have been searching, and I found out some more information that I think would be pertinent to everyone that embarks on this journey right here to figure out what to do once you find the land patent of an ancestor of yours. You might have multiple ancestors that have land patents, and we're going to talk about that stuff. We're going to get into it. The website to visit about those land patents are is right here on the screen, and I'm going to go ahead and hide it, but it's in the chat, and I don't know how to pin it to the chat, but it's there. So anyway, before we get into the topic today, I'm going to play a little bit of, I'm going to play the intro, and then I'll also play a little bit of music, and then we'll get started. Yay. So here we go.
Yeah, I don't know everything. Nah.
What do I look like, an expert?
But I'm gonna tell you what I do know. You are invited to subscribe, share, like, and thumbs up this video. And enjoy another episode in this series. Keep coming back, because we do this weekly. Go to Tanyé So Official for the latest updates and merch for our followers.
Okay, let's play a little bit of music and then we'll get started. So let me start with this one. Okay, guys. I appreciate you sharing and liking and sticking with me throughout this video and all of my other videos. I appreciate the love and support. And please continue to like, and share. And we can really make a difference with learning what we need to know in order to get ourselves out of the situation that we're in. Of course, we're in a crazy situation right now. The world is upside down and unbalanced because of us not knowing what we need to know to declare our freedom. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to specifically talk today about the land patents. I don't know if you guys have followed Chief Janice. She's been talking about this on her YouTube channel, Unpack with Chief Janice. And I hope that you guys check out her videos as well. But some people were out here trying to say that this stuff isn't real. It's not true. But it most certainly is true. And I am going to share my screen and show this website and what I found out about it after doing my little bit of research that I've done so far on this particular topic. So let me see if I can make this the full screen. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, and as you can see, this is blm.gov, the one that really matters for us right now. blm.gov, and then you go to services, the tab for services, and then land records, and it takes you to the next page, and you just click this link, and it is Glow Records. And let me just make sure that everybody can see it. Okay, well, you can't see it on that page. I need to share out my screen for this other page, and let me do that now because it opened up in a different tab. Okay, all right, so this is what it is, and I hope everybody can see it. Okay, you guys should be able to see it. So then you click on search documents. Okay, and I am going to go to this one. And I'm just going to pick one. Okay, there's more information that we really need to know that we really didn't pay, may not have paid attention to before. It has an ascension number. So after you put in the name to the person that you want to, that is believed to be an ancestor, then after you do that, it comes up with that person's name right here under names on document. And then it has an ascension number, document type, what state, the issue date. This was in 1840, and it says that it was not canceled. And the land office that you would want to connect with will be titled here. In this case, it's Pontotoc. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. My mom, she knows how to pronounce it right. And then it says what tribe. Well, because there were three different types, four different types of homestead patents. I know that there were military warrant deeds. There were cash entries. There was another one for the Homestead Act, I think, and of 1862. And then there is other treaties. For instance, in this case, with this one, it is under the authority tab. It says that the October 20th, 1832, the Chickasaw Treaty of Pontotoc, and I think it was Pontotoc Creek. It was actually a creek that it was near when this treaty was signed. And then it tells you about the acre size. And then down here, the map, it really helps out because I found this out after I have been researching things for a while, that you can check these boxes and it will tell you where these sections are on the map, and you can zoom in and out on it, and it tells you where it's near, and gives you pretty much the area. Okay. So, and it also gives you these section numbers and what county they're in. So this is really, really helpful, so that you don't have to go look on Google Maps. Um, and then the patent image, when you click on that tab, it takes a little bit of time for it to process. But once it does, you get to see the actual image of the document. And you can download one that is not certified here. And you also can order the actual certified copy on parchment paper or on regular, copy paper. And as you can see, it's typed out, and it says the Chickasaw Indian for this one, Alexander Colbert. But it also says that this land is thereto belonging unto said Alexander Colbert and to his heirs, and assigns forever. So you see that, and as you can see, you can also add it as certified copy to cart. And when you collect all your ancestors that you find on here, then I was just going ahead and ordering these copies. I need to actually order more. I should have waited until I did a little bit more research, because I am still finding ancestors on this particular website. Anyway, so once you collect all of your people, and you add them to the cart, and then you can just click on the cart here, and then you got to print this thing out and send a money order or a check or something into the Bureau of Land Management, the Department of Interior. And so there are related documents. So as you can see, it shows the section numbers here still, and the county again, and these are patents here. And then it also has the original survey. These are other things that you would want to print. And because what they normally, with these treaties, there were certain things that we had to, people had to basically say that they agreed to do to the land in order to actually get fulfill the patent and keep it. And as you can see, it shows that tract of land, and it also shows who the surveyor was, and you'll want to get that stuff. And let me see what else. Okay, and then it has that for each section, what type of boundary it was, northeast, west, south, news, subdivisional, meanders, these things. And then there are other records that you can look for. Now, these tract books as well are important for us to print these also. That way you have all of the information that you need when you intend on going and doing your work. And okay, and then track details, and then it has all these different sections. The one that we would be focused on here, I think one of them was 22. And I want to say 22, 23, and some more. But anyway, let's look at the track book image. And this also we can zoom in on. And as you can see, there is his name and possible other family members. So this will also help you make sure that you're within the right family. And then you can generate a PDF. And after it generates, you just go ahead and download that, and then you can print it later. And I'm letting it go ahead and generate so you guys see it and what it's going to do for you. And you get to click on download. And then you'll kind of get to see it a little bit better on this page once it loads. And we're going to give it time to load. Give it some time. And while we're waiting for it to load, please like, and share, subscribe. And it shows all the lot numbers of other family members, as well as the sections, description of the tract, and the records for it. And so these are all good things to download and print. If you have a printer, go ahead and print everything that you need out, and we're going to just save that. And so that's all those things that I went over. You want to make sure that you print copies of these things, just to make sure that you are fully prepared. Now, I went ahead and closed out of that. But so now that we have this little bit of information, I was like, okay. And I learned that actually from what doing a keyword search on YouTube. And I found some pretty good what do I want to say? Videos. Yeah, videos regarding this. And I want to share out this YouTube screen so I can let you guys see a little bit of this guy's video. He did a good job on this video. And I just looked at pretty much all of them about how to secure your land patent. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and actually, I won't be able to play it unless I click the box to where you guys can actually hear the audio from this. So let me do that properly here. And yeah, I'm going to play this guy's video. Mute myself.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Dave. Just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about land tonight, because many people out there think that getting a land patent is going to solve all the problems with their mortgage, and they aren't going to have to pay property tax anymore, and that their mortgage is totally done away with because I have a land patent. Well, sounds all good and whatever, but that's not the case. And I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about land patents, and what they involve in a mortgage, and what they involve as well as property taxes. So first off, we have to find out what land is. All right. Most people generally think about land as, a place with a house, and it has grass and a soil, maybe some trees and plants and whatever else. And they think of that as their land, all the dirt and everything else. Well, land has nothing to do with dirt or trees or anything like that. And I'm going to read you the definition here. I believe you can find it in Black's Law Dictionary. The last time I checked was the 6th edition. I think they're up to the 9th edition now. But it's originally quoted from Peter Butt, Land Law 9, 2nd edition from 1988. And in there, Peter Butt wrote, "Land is not restricted to the Earth's surface, it extends below and above the surface, nor is it confined to solids, but may encompass within its bounds such things as gases and liquids. A definition of land along the lines of a mass of physical matter occupying a space also is not sufficient, for an owner of land may remove part or all of that physical matter, as by digging it up and carrying away the soil, but would nonetheless retain as part of his land the space that remains. Ultimately, as a juristic concept, land is simply an area of three-dimensional space, its positions being defined by natural or imaginary points located by reference to the Earth's surface. Land is not the fixed contents of that space, although, as we shall see, the owner of that space may well own those fixed contents. Land is immovable, as distinct from chattels, which are movable. It is also, in its legal significance, indestructible. The contents of the space may be physically severed, destroyed, or consumed, but the space itself, and so the land, remains immutable." So there you have it. The law definition of land is a three-dimensional space, and it does not involve any of the physical things within that may be found within that space. All right. Now, land is generally described in what's called a legal description. It's a two-dimensional description from point to point. In the 13 colonies, it might sound something like this. Starting at the post on this corner and going 700 perches to the north, and so many, then they get to another point, say so many degrees to the right, another so many perches to this point. Well, that's called meets and bounds. That's how it's done in the original 13 colonies. Outside the 13 colonies, the format is what's called section, township, and range, which is a different, type of description, but nonetheless, both are two-dimensional descriptions. So, well, how does it get three-dimensional? And well, it's understood that land extends from the center of the earth to the heavens above. So you take that two-dimensional description, drop it to the center of the earth, take it to the heavens above, bang, there's your three-dimensional space of land. Now, land is not tangible. It's intangible. You cannot touch it, meaning that it's not physical. It's just a space. You can reach into a space. You can pull your hand out of a space, whatever, but you can't ever actually touch the space. You can only enter a space. On the other side, you have houses, which are obviously physically, they're tangible. You can touch them. So houses are tangible property. Soil's tangible property. Trees, grass, minerals, oil, water, everything else that you can touch is called tangible property. So two big differences there. Land is intangible property, meaning you can't touch it, whereas a house, which is what's usually involved in a mortgage, is tangible property, also known as real estate in this instance. So what is a land patent? Well, a land patent is a grant of land to the person who's getting the grant and their heirs and assigns forever, meaning it's a gift forever, because a grant means a gift. So land isn't bought or sold, it's given. And since it was already given to their heirs and assigns forever in the patent, it can never be bought or sold. All right. Now let's take a look at a house. Well, house isn't land, it's tangible property. You can touch it. It hasn't been given away to heirs and assigns forever, and therefore it can be entered in contracts, bought and sold, rented, leased, whatever. Right. So in most mortgages, people generally put up their house as collateral for a loan until the time that they pay back the loan in full, in which they then gain back all the title to that real estate, to the house, whatever. Okay. So if you get a land patent, well, if the land patent already exists, if you secure your right and title to the land by getting a chain of assignment from the current warranty deed all the way back to the land patent.
Okay, so hopefully I'm unmuted and you guys, okay, so you guys can hear me. I wanted to really put some significance on what he just said. He just said that he did give the definition of land. I think that it was maybe good for somebody to know about that, but he said that you need to go and get to secure your right to the title. You have to go back and you have to get all of of the deed records of previous deeds all the way back to that particular land grant. On that other page we were looking at, remember we were seeing that was back in 1840 for that particular family. So that's when they have to get back to. Now, let's continue.
So if you get a land patent, well, if the land patent already exists, if you secure your right and title to the land by getting a chain of assignment from the current warranty deed all the way back to the land patent, you're securing your right and title to the land. It has nothing to do with the property pertinent to the land. Well, it does a little bit, but I'm not going to go into that here. It doesn't negate any contractual obligations you enter into with your, you enter your house or real estate into. It has nothing to do with that. So it won't get you out of that for that reason. You can actually separate, the property pertinent to the land from the land, the titles. One person could hold the title to the land, and within the bounds of that land, there could be a house and someone else totally different could own that house. Perfect example of that would be England. The royal family owns all the land, and the people own the property pertinent to the land. Like you could buy a house in England, but you would never own right and title to the land because that's the royal family's land. The king and queen own it. So good luck. But anyways, so there you have it. Land patents have nothing to do with mortgages at all. All right. So what about property taxes? Well, property taxes.
Before he goes on to the next section, I wanted to also touch on what he last said, how England, all the title to every section of the land is owned by the royal family. Now, I haven't searched to see if that is like 100% correct, but I definitely would like to know about that. And so if that's the case, you would see why a lot of settlers came over to the Americas. It was because of the land. It was because of the land, them being able to have right and title to it. But let's continue. He's going to talk a little bit about property on property on the land and contracts that we go into. So let's do that.
Our tax on tangible property. They have nothing to do with land. Land patent won't get you out of them either. Also, property taxes are contractual obligations as well. So the only way to get out of that is never to enter that contract, or basically never enter that contract. So, or transfer the liability to someone else who wants to accept it. But anyways, what else was I going to go over? Okay. So how do you secure your land patent? Well, in order to secure your land patent, what you need to do is some research in your local county recorder of deeds office or wherever else the public record of deeds is.
All right, so you just heard that the public record of deeds the public record of deeds. Where those are held is where you need to be going. If that's the courthouse, the county courthouse, if that is the county clerk's office, you just have to find out who holds these. I'm going to let them say it again.
Secure your land patent. Well, in order to secure your land patent, what you need to do is some research in your local county recorder of deeds office or wherever else the public record of deeds is in your state, county, etc. So you would go in there, you'd find your deed that grants you your rights, and you would see who the person was that granted it to you. Then you'd go back to the next one, and you follow that all the way back to the patent. And if you can't find all the way back to the patent, then, well, that's not really that great, but there's still other things you could do if that happens. Most instances, you should be able to find all that documentation, and you would want to get certified copies of all that documentation. So, because certified copies are seen as, a form of court evidence, pretty much.
Okay, so he's saying just like everything else, just like the BLM website allows you to get a certified copy, you also have to get the certified copy of every warranty deed, current all the way back to the original title. So
Which is as good as the original. So we get certified copies of all that, all the way back to the patent, and also a certified copy of the patent and plat maps for the patent, etc. And then you would be able to prove that you're right, entitled to the land. Anyways, so can land patents be used in a situation where you might be in foreclosure? Sure, they could definitely be used to your advantage if you know what you're doing and you've put in the necessary study and you know the law well enough to apply it. But outside of that, if you're looking for someone else to do it for you, that's not going to happen because most people don't know anything about this stuff. So you're going to have to do it yourself. But how would a land patent help you in a situation if you're facing foreclosure? Well, if you're facing foreclosure, obviously we already learned that they're after the real estate, the property pertinent to the land that you contracted or that you put under contract with them, okay? But if you own the land, that contract has nothing to do with the land. So what would happen if they foreclose? Well, they would get the property pertinent to the land, but you would still own the land, right? So you're in a very powerful position at this point because no one can enter your land without your permission, meaning they cannot come into your three-dimensional space without your either oral or written consent of some sort. So if someone could actually buy the house from the bank through foreclosure or whatever afterwards, and if you still own the land, you could actually keep them from getting to their property pertinent to the land because they can't come on there without your permission. So yeah, you can actually charge them so much. So like say someone owned a house on your land, you could charge them $1,000 a month just to have their house on your land if they wanted to access it. So it's a pretty good position to be in. That would mean, the person on your land is your tenant. And, tenants have to pay to be on your land. So, well, they don't have to if you let them on, but you might want to charge them. So what would that do? Well, that would be very bad for the mortgage company because no one's going to want to buy a house if they don't get the land too, because
all right, so I think that we get the gist of what he's talking about here. And so I wanted to, he gave a resource actually in that video. You can watch the rest. We watched most of it together. Like I said, he did a good job. And this was back in 2012. Okay, so they are a real thing. The government runs that website. It is there. Most people just don't know about it, just like he said. And so I am going to share out my screen again and see where he got that information from. And hopefully this is helping other people use these resources and grow from them. Let me share this screen. And you guys share the video. That would be great. Yeah. Okay, so it's called teamlaw.net. Teamlaw.net. I'm going to put it in the comments here. All right. And I'll put it on the screen also. Okay. I think it's been there long enough. And I'm going to go ahead and let's do a read along. Okay. The foundation of this nation was real property ownership. That's why the settlers came here, to ensure private ownership of land. The nation's founding fathers made it unlawful for government to own land except for the 10 square miles of Washington, D.C., and such as may be needed for erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dockyards, and other needful buildings. The Constitution says that, I suppose. I haven't read all of it. I probably should, but whatever. Anyway, when an American fulfills the requirements to obtain a land grant, the grant is assigned by and made patent under the hand and seal of the President of the United States of America in accord with an act of Congress. Now, I'm just letting you guys know what these people are saying, but this is for educational purposes. So anyway, fictitious entities like trusts, corporations, etc., cannot obtain land patents except by express act of Congress. An example of Congress granting land through patents to fictional entities is the railroad grants made to compensate the railroad companies for building railroads across America. What about the slaves that they used to do it with? But anyways, the land patent is the only form of perfect title to land available in the United States. Wilcox versus Jackson. And then it has like the case file there. In America, today people think they own their land, but unless you have the land patent on the land, they may not own it. Most people today obtain real estate by contract, and then on fulfillment of the contract, they transfer control of land by warranty deed. However, a warranty deed is merely a color of title. Doesn't that sound familiar to the color of law? And color of title can mean that which is in appearance is title, but which in reality is no title. And there's the case, couple case information in Black's Law 6th edition. It is important to note that when in contest, a warranty deed cannot stand against a land patent. A grant of land made patent is a public law standing on the books of the state and is notice to every subsequent purchaser under any conflicting sale made afterward. And here's some more case, another case. The land patent is permanent and cannot be changed by the government after its issuance. Where the United States has parted with title by a patent legally issued and upon surveys made by itself and approved by the proper department, the title is so granted cannot be impaired by any subsequent survey made by the government for its own purposes. So there's some more case law. In the history of this country, no land patent has ever lost an appellate review in the courts. As a matter of fact, in Summa Corp versus California 466 U.S. 198, the Supreme Court ruled forever that the land patent would always win over any other form of title. Did you hear that? The Supreme Court ruled that. That's what it's saying. Okay. We got to check our resources, and I guess I can do that maybe in a later video if we want to get super deep into this, but let's continue. In that case, the land in question was tidewater land, and California's claim was based on California's constitutional right to all tidewater lands. The patent stood supreme even against California's constitution. Land cannot be taken for debt or taxes, but real estate can be. So just like the guy was talking about the house, if it's foreclosed upon, if you got a loan or something, but you own the land and you have your right and title secured on that land patent, then you can charge people to even come onto the property. Yeah, unless you give consent. They can't just come onto the property. This is what it says. Anyway, or the guy said, what is land? By definition, land is not restricted to the Earth's surface, but extends below and above the surface. Nor is it confined to solids, but may encompass within its bounds such things as gases and liquids. A definition of land along the lines of a mass of physical matter occupying a space. Also, it is not sufficient for an owner of land may remove part or all of the physical matter as by digging it up and carrying away the soil, but would nonetheless retain as part of his land the space that remains. Ultimately, land is simply an area of three-dimensional space. It positions being defined by natural and or imaginary points located by reference to the Earth's surface. Land is not the fixed contents of that space, although, as we shall see, the owner of that space may well own those fixed contents. Land is immovable, a distinct from chattels, which are movable. It is also, in its legal significance, indestructible. The contents of the space may be physically severed, destroyed, or consumed, but the space itself, and so the land, remains immutable. So it just is basically telling us the definition of land and real estate. It's a document that lays over the land in color of title. Though it is not the land itself, it may include with it the right to real property that sits upon the land. Banks and corporations like real estate, because they can own it without an act of Congress. They and others can use the fiction of title to seize property under the color of law. Okay, let's see. All right, so it's a little bit longer. I hope that this is helpful. We're gonna continue. Please continue to like and share, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new here, subscribe. And we have some of the greatest followers here, so I just want to shout you guys out. We appreciate you. I hope this helps you as you are on your journey. Okay, so they've taken their colors of title into the courts for so long that the people, under 3 generations of deception and ignorance, simply allow them to go ahead. Generally, people seem to have forgotten about land patents. For that cause, when you go into a court today with a real title case, a land patent case, chances are the judge and attorneys involved won't know what a land patent is. The first court you run into that understands the power of a land patent may be a U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. And in the history of this nation, there has never been an appellate case where a properly set land patent has ever lost to its title to the land. Hold up. Let me just make sure I read that right. The first court you run into that understands the power of, okay, hold on. Yeah, this is it. Okay. The first court you run into that understands the power of a land patent may be a U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. And in the history of this nation, there has never been an appellate case where a properly set land patent has ever lost its title to the land. If you ever have the occasion to defend your deeded right to your land in court, and someone else presents their proof of right to that land secured by the land patent, you'll lose your land unless you have similar proof. Okay, so if somebody else has a secure title to the land, then you have to have similar proof like this person, that you are a part owner of this land. If you haven't secured your right to your land patent, okay, if you haven't secured your right to your land by its land patent, you may be abandoning your right to your land, and any prior owner with lawful right to the land patent could secure it to themselves and evict you off from the land you thought was yours, and you'll have to leave. So you got to make sure that you secured everything, that you get those certified copies, and you put that stuff on the public record of deeds, the public record of deeds. And maybe we'll go into some more stuff about maybe trust and things like that later on. But I'm just learning this, and hopefully us learning this together can get, some people their land back. Okay, so contact us and get your land patent secured. It's important. Now let's suppose you have your land patent properly secured, and for some reason you have to defend your right to the land. What do? If you understand the patent and how it works, you'll defend it successfully. So it talks about land patents and how they work. Since I've been on this for, let me see how long we've been, almost an hour. I might come back and do a part 2 to this, so we can just read over some more of this land patent business, understanding the law behind it, and what we need to do to secure the land. I think that there's also, after this, another article about steps to secure, steps to secure land patent. And maybe we'll go over this stuff a little bit later. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the evening. Thank you for sticking with me while I dived a little bit deeper into this, and we want to figure out how to secure these land patents, and get to it. Get to it. So I hope that you guys have a good rest of your evening. I am going to go out the same way that I came in, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.